This is Tim Tucker, AE6LX from worldwidedx.com. Today we're going to install the CoolerKX Plus heatsink from VE7FMN onto my Elecraft KX3. So follow along. The first thing we have to do to install the heatsink is to remove these two outer screws from the factory heatsink and check the threads using the supplied black screw from the heatsink kit. The purpose of this is to see if any of the black oxide from the factory screw is left behind on the threads. So to do this, we simply take the black screw by hand and see if we can screw it in by hand on the factory case. And that one's too tight, and this one is definitely too tight. So before we go any farther, we have to chase these threads to get them cleaned out. To repair the threads that were damaged because they have the black oxide from the screw left behind, just take this 440 tap and we're going to chase the threads on each side. I've already done the one over here, so just do this one very gently, carefully, making sure that we don't screw it in too far to damage into the circuitry. This is going pretty easy. It's a little tight right there, and that should do it. And make sure and hold it down so any stuff can fall out. You can maybe able to see this in the video, the black oxidation that went down on the mat there. So now we're just going to verify that it works with the supplied screw, and now it goes in nice and easy. That's all there is to it. Do the same on each side. The next step of the procedure is to remove the two nuts that are, and the screws that are mounting the PA transistors to the back case and heatsink. So to do this, you're either going to need the right size wrench. A long pair of needle nose pliers like this would work good too, because then you can hold on to the nut and pull it out. And be careful not to disturb this capacitor right here. So I'm just going to hold this. These aren't overly tight. They're just in there enough to hold the transistor snug. Pull each one out like so. Okay, now that we've taken off all four of the screws, you can see the factory heatsink has come loose. Now it's just a matter of taking the CoolerKX heatsink, mating it up to the holes, and remounting it. So we're going to do the screws closest to the BNC, the PA transistors, and this one on the end last. Make sure you use, for the PA transistors, the stainless screws that came with the kit, not these ones. This is to make sure that the all stainless hardware is used, not so that no corrosion or anything like that could occur at a later point in time. Okay, I've mounted one of the 3/8 stainless screws here, the other one here on this PA transistor. These are just done real loose, barely even hand tight initially, just to line everything up. So now we're going to install this other one, mount it on the hex wrench, the Allen wrench. Use your needle nose pliers to line it up in place, and just turn it on real nice and easy. Just installs real easily. The last step is to install the longer 5/8 screw. This is the one that also passes through the optional filter if you have that. And then once we do that, we'll tighten them all back down, put the batteries back in, reattach the two halves, and we'll give it a quick test to see how effective it is. Okay, there it is, all installed. You can see it mates up real nicely with the case. The black finish matches the black finish on the radio, and got a nice looking heatsink on the KX3 now. Let's do some tests. We're doing a test now with the KX3 and the CoolerKX heatsink installed. I've got it on 20 meters at FM, and you can see I'm running a full 10 watts. You can see the temperature here has climbed to 52 degrees Celsius, and we've been running on the timer for just a little bit over 9 minutes. We'll let this go until the KX3 powers back, which happens just around 60 degrees. We'll see how long that takes. And there you see the KX3 just went to a high temperature warning. I hit stop right when it did. 27 minutes, 36 seconds with the CoolerKX heatsink. The original stock heatsink only had a transmit key down time of just over 8 minutes. So you can see this heatsink really does represent quite a bit of an improvement. Hope you enjoyed the video. For all things amateur radio, please be sure to check out www.worldwidedx.com, and for the CoolerKX heatsinks, check out VE7FMN's website.